Good afternoon, aviators. It's Quentin J. Parker, your pilot. And we're back in Microsoft Flight Simulator, as if it wasn't terribly obvious, at Sedona Airport, elevated 5,000 feet above sea level, and today, a brisk 41 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm going to fly from this high elevation airport to another, 265 miles to the northeast. Of course, it could only be Telluride Airport, which is even higher at 9,000 feet. And, I expect, a little colder. This hop will be made in the Diamond DA62. Let's just say that this is a must-accomplish flight, like delivering a transplant organ or something imperative like that. For that reason, I swapped out my avatar's high tops and ball cap to put on the epaulets and a crew lanyard. Port engine, start. Starboard engine, start. Sedona traffic, Blue Diamond 502 is taxiing to runway 21 for northeast departure, Sedona. Sedona traffic, Blue Diamond 502 is taking off runway 21, northeast departure, Sedona. If you watched my last logbook entry, then you know I am too through with the CRS-SR22 in Microsoft Flight Simulator, and I just can't bring myself to fly it. Regardless, since that last logbook video was a chatty one, I was going to lay down a bitchin' instrumental track to complement the ambiance, but after actually flying the mission, I decided it was better to walk you through what follows, particularly the ending. Alright, we are wheels up at 5:37 local time. It's pretty country, even if today's clouds end up obscuring a lot of it. The windows were clear when I passed through the freezing layer at around 8,000 feet. By 9,500 feet, I found myself surprised by the rapid accretion of ice. I employed the windshield de-icer several times, but the entire leading edge of the plane was frosted over. The airspeed wasn't deteriorating too badly, and I wasn't far from cruise altitude, so I pressed on. Around 12,000 feet, the windshield began to clear. It was 7 degrees Fahrenheit at 15,000, but the sky was crisp and clear of clouds. Once at cruise speed, the ice began to flake off, but damn if it didn't take its own sweet time. Alright, I got the coordinates for Telluride and dialed in the Crohn's VOR. So it was Echo Tango Lima to shoot the VOR DME approach. Truth be told, the uneventful but scenic nature of the flight lulled me into complacency. Had I not entertained myself taking brag-worthy screenshots, keeping an eye on the NexRad display, and noticing that the housing of the whiskey compass looked like a demon or a tiki totem, I might have noticed that barely an hour into the flight, I burned through half of my fuel. And exactly an hour after takeoff, I was fuel critical, about 30 miles short of cones. It didn't make sense. The maximum range was supposed to be just over 1,000 miles, and I definitely took off with full tanks. So I didn't bother checking the fuel. I wondered if I inadvertently dumped fuel or something. That's when I took a good look at the DA62's fuel indicators. They looked right at a glance, but they weren't. The real DA62 carries 86 gallons of fuel, 50 in the main tanks and 36 in auxiliary. Judging by my 18.8 gallon per hour fuel burn for an hour, I suspect that only a single 25 gallon tank is modeled in this plane. But I was still unsure at this moment, so I changed my fuel settings to unlimited to make it to the airport. Telluride traffic, Blue Diamond 502, 12,500 at Cones VOR, 17 miles northwest of Telluride, inbound, runway 9, full stop landing, Telluride. From here, it should have been an easy, steady 3,000-foot descent. When I finally spotted the airport, I found that I had drifted well left of the runway. I was closing on the field, and everything looked great. Except for that visible moisture in my glide path. I seriously didn't think it was that big a deal, but in hindsight, I probably should have ducked way under it, or overflew it and came in steep. I just didn't want to perform any extreme maneuvers at this altitude. The moment I entered this cloud, my pristine, crystal clear windshield frosted over in a matter of seconds. I panicked when I saw the clear ice thicken and turn white. At this point, my brain is on fire. Do I risk going in blind? I was set up for a visual approach, and this would be a horrible time to test the glass instrument's representation of where I was. A dangerous and brainless part of me wanted to actually wait till the windshield thawed a little where I could see the runway. Telluride traffic, Blue Diamond 502, going missed, runway 9er, Telluride. The plane wants to roll left, and as I wrestle to keep the wings level, I see that the window is clearing. I can see the airport now. Rather than return to the cones to fly the full missed approach and risk flying through another cloud, I abandoned it altogether and turned to land. Whoa. I don't remember feeling terribly desperate, but I must have been, because I know better than to turn like that with ice on the wings. Oh look, another runway camper in Microsoft Flight Simulator. That landing was about what you'd expect from someone who really wanted to be on the ground while trying to retain the appearance of aviator cool. But if the only damage is to my frail ego, I'll take it. The outside air temperature at Telluride is just below freezing, so the ice is lingering on the airframe. Telluride traffic, blue Diamond 502, clear of runway 9er, taxi parking, Telluride. So upon reflection, the obvious takeaway is that I should have planned a lot better. I should have given greater consideration to climbing and descending through icing conditions. And having encountered said icing, I should have set the de-icing system to high and mashed the max button rather than obsess with the windshield de-icing. I could have and should have chosen the ILS approach. At least I would have had the localizer punched in. But I doubt the windshield would have cleared before the 5-mile missed approach point, so it's kind of moot. On one hand, I clearly and readily admit to my own mistakes, compounding the unnecessary frustration of this flight. On the other hand, I'm a little pissed, because I spent the ending half of this flight stressing about how I could have possibly screwed up the fueling portion so badly. By the time I parked, I felt like the only good decision I made was to get here before sundown. I can't wait for truer modeled, study-level third-party aircraft because I'm finding that the default planes are, in my opinion, trash. At least from a simulation standpoint. The second patch to Microsoft Flight Simulator will be released in about a week or so, and I'm reading that it'll include updates to aircraft visuals, systems, and avionics. Here's to hoping they fix the DA62's fuel capacity. So that's it, aviators. We will do this again. In yet another plane, apparently. I'm gonna work my way through the GA planes of the default selection until I find something that works. I mean, other than TBM. So, that's it. This has been Quentin J. Parker, your pilot, and I will catch up with you guys laters. I'm outie. Bye.